Hey y'all. Listen, I am so excited to share this with y'all. Most of you know that I am one half of a podcast called Two Girls and Jesus. So last week, God told me that He wanted me to do a teaching on the names of God. And my lifelong friend, Corey, who I do the podcast with, we talked about it with our producer, and none of us just really felt like it was the right time or the right thing to be doing right now, but I knew that God told me to do it. So I am so happy to announce that I am going to be doing that through this platform with all of you. I'm so excited. And one thing that I just want you to get you thinking about is who you are. Like, two main things about me, it's always Jesus first, but the two things about me after that are I'm a mom and I'm a teacher. So, like, when I am in a situation with somebody or with a group of people or just one person, they don't know how to do something, and I know how to do it, I automatically go into teacher mode. I don't decide to do it. I don't dig deep to do it. It just happens. It's just what I do, because it's a part of who God made me to be. If I'm around, especially in a family situation and we've got a lot of kids there, especially little kids, and they're just being crazy and wild, running all over the place and being loud. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Mom, that mom voice comes out of me. I don't dig deep for it. It just comes out because that's part of who God made me to be. Those things manifest themselves. And I don't have to do anything. It just happens because it's part of who I am, right? Well, I want to share with y'all that it's the same thing with God, okay? Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Shalom, Elkanah. There's so many of them, y'all. My mind gets overwhelmed when I think about the names of God. So I very much have to have a list of the ones that I'm going to go over. But we will use the most popular, Jehovah Jireh, okay? That is God will provide. And He provides all things, okay? A lot of times when we think of provision, we think of it in the monetary sense. But it's not that. He provides people and places and experiences and, of course, money and food, and whatever you have a need for, He provides it. So if you find yourself in a need for provision, let's just say, I don't know, you need a new microwave and it's Christmas time and you don't have the money, to buy a new microwave, but you need one because you got all these things happening at your house and you need to be able to heat stuff up. You call on Jehovah Jireh. He will provide. And when you call on Him using that specific name, that's what will manifest. Now, I'm not saying that you can say, Jehovah Jireh, I want $1 million. I need $1 million. I'm not saying like that, but it's a true need. You need a true provision, and you call on Him in those specific names, and that's what manifests, because it's not just what He does, it's who He is. It's His name, y'all. So there's one of His names. So every day I'm going to come on here and I'm just going to do hopefully a short, not too long teaching about a name of God. And today I'm going to tell you the name that we're going to start with tomorrow. And everything starts with creation. So we're going to start with Yahweh, okay? You might see in some of the places the names spelled differently. And I'll give you one, Adonai, okay? In some places, you will see that name spelled A-D-O-N-I, Adonai. In other places, you may see that name spelled Adonay, okay? And Adonai is a name from the ancient Hebrew. The ancient Hebrew, that language did not have vowels, okay? So when it was translated so that we could read it and that we could say it, because our language has, the English language has vowels, uses vowels. Some people, when they translated it, they used Y at the end of everything. If the word ended in a vowel sound, they just used Y. Others, when they translated it and used the vowel of what it sounded like. So Adonai, okay? It sounds like we would, spell something AI, okay? It doesn't, the spelling of it does not change what the name means, okay? But you may see it when you're searching on Google, or when you're searching in names of God studies, or you're just asking GPT or whatever AI that you may ask about the name of God, Adonai. You may see it spelled two different ways. It means the same thing, okay? The translation is just what is different. You'll see that a little bit when we do New Testament names, but that was mostly written a little bit in Aramaic, but mostly in Greek. And in the ancient Greek, they used symbols instead of letters, or groups of letters, so or combinations of letters rather. So you will see a little bit of difference in the spelling, but it does not change the meaning. Okay, it just is just how it was translated. So tomorrow we're going to start with Yahweh. Yahwah is how we spell it. Okay. So go ahead, do some research on that, get some questions ready. If you have any questions about what we're going to do, drop it in the comments. If you have suggestions, whatever, just drop it in the comments. Let me know. I will do my best to address everything. And just know, I'm not real fancy. I'm going to use a Names of God Bible. Now, on our fancy little YouVersion Bible app, they don't have that translation. And that's okay. There is another site that does, and I will put a link for that in the description for tomorrow. Or I'll put it somewhere so that you can link to it. But if you just Google Names of God Bible, it should take you there. Okay. I will do my best to get a picture of the verse that I'm referencing so that you can see how the name is used. And, but I don't know how to paste a picture and then talk in front of the picture. I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff. And honestly, I don't really care to learn. But I'm going to do the best I can to make it aesthetically pleasing as possible. But don't expect a whole lot, okay? I'm so excited to do this with y'all. I just cannot wait.